Hey Yuyan, have you ever had one of those moments where you just know something is off with someone, even if they look fine? Like that story about the paramedic who sensed her father-in-law was in trouble just by looking at him?
Absolutely. It's fascinating how our brains can pick up on subtle cues without us even realizing it. That paramedic had years of experience that honed her intuition. It's like she had a sixth sense for recognizing danger.
Right? It makes you wonder what other skills we might be unconsciously developing in our daily lives. I mean, think about military analysts who can distinguish between enemy missiles and friendly planes on radar. They're seeing the same blips, but interpreting them differently based on their training.
Exactly. And it's not just in high-stakes situations. Even museum curators can spot a fake painting just by looking at it. They can't always explain what gives it away, but their brain has cataloged those details over time.
It's wild how much our brains are constantly processing without us being aware of it. Like when you're hungry, you don't need to see food to know it's time to eat. Your body just signals you.
Yes, and that's a perfect example of how habits work too. Sometimes we act on autopilot, like when you reach for snacks while watching TV. You don't even think about it. Your body just knows what to do.
Speaking of habits, have you heard of the pointing and calling system used by train operators? They literally point at things and call them out loud to stay aware and reduce mistakes.
I love that. It sounds silly, but it really works. By verbalizing their actions, they're making themselves more conscious of what they're doing, which helps prevent accidents.
Exactly. We could all use a little pointing and calling in our lives. Imagine if we did that with our daily routines, like saying out loud what we're about to eat or do. It might help us break those mindless habits.
For sure. And that ties into the habits scorecard idea too. Just writing down your habits and evaluating them can increase your awareness of what you're doing every day.
Right. It's all about noticing those cues and understanding how they influence our behavior. Once we become aware, we can start making changes.
Such a powerful concept. It's like shining a light on the shadows of our habits so we can see what needs to change.
Absolutely. Awareness is the first step toward transformation. We need to acknowledge our behaviors before we can improve them.
Well said, Jian. Let's keep each other accountable with our own pointing and calling practice.
Deal. Here's to being more conscious and intentional with our habits moving forward.